Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct the playbook for building belief systems. And believe me, it's a timeless formula. It's not just ancient history. It's actually shaping everything around us, from the brands you love to the online tribes you see every single day.
All right, so let's just dive right in with the big one, right? How is a religion born? How does one single idea spark a movement that can literally span the globe?
Well, it's definitely not random. The source material is pretty clear on this. For a belief to really take root and grow, the social and psychological soil has to be, well, just right. It's like planting a seed. You need the right conditions.
Okay, so what does that fertile ground actually look like? Let's dig into the birth of belief. So the source basically breaks it down into a few key areas. First up, on the social side, you need some kind of crisis or upheaval. Think about it. When the old ways are failing, people are desperately looking for something new. Then there's the psychological stuff, that deep human need for answers about, life, death, and just finding a community, a place to belong. And finally, you've got the economic piece. You have to have at least a basic surplus, enough resources so that a group of religious leaders can actually be supported.
So, once those conditions are met, that's when a really powerful and, fascinatingly, a repeatable pattern can emerge. It's like a 5-step formula.
But before we get to the steps, we need to talk about one key ingredient. It's a concept from the sociologist Max Weber, and the word is charisma. And we're not just talking about being charming or likable here. This is something much bigger. It's that extraordinary, almost magnetic quality that makes a leader the absolute center of gravity for a new movement. And here it is, the 5-step playbook laid out for us. Step 1, it all starts with a pain point, some kind of widespread need in society. Step 2, in comes that charismatic leader we just talked about, offering a new vision. Step 3, they present a core idea, a central message. Step 4, a small group of first followers rallies around them, giving the whole thing momentum. And then, and this part is absolutely crucial, Step 5, an engineer comes along to turn the spark into a real, lasting institution. Yeah, that last step is so important. It actually has a name. Sociologists call it the routinization of charisma. It's basically the process of taking that personal magic from one leader and bottling it, turning it into something permanent, like a church, a set of rules, or a holy book. It's how you make the fire last. Okay, so you might be thinking, this is all interesting history, but here's the kicker. This playbook isn't gathering dust on a shelf. It's being used all around us, right now, creating what you could call modern micro-religions. So I've got to ask, what if this exact same formula is being used today? Maybe even on you. What if the same patterns that built massive world religions are now creating the tribes and communities that define our lives? We're talking everything from brands to wellness movements. Let's look at brand cults, for example. The pain point, that nagging feeling of anxiety about who we are, our need for status, the leader or prophet, a charismatic founder, think Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. The core idea or scripture, a simple, powerful brand philosophy, like think different. And the followers and rituals, well, they're the loyal fans, the evangelists, and the ritual is lining up for a brand new product launch. It fits perfectly, doesn't it? And it's not just brands. Think about wellness movements. The pain point is our anxiety about our health, this endless pursuit of a perfect self. The leader is the lifestyle influencer or the self-help guru. The core idea is their specific diet or workout plan, and the followers, they're the subscribers and community members, all practicing their own daily rituals, from meditations to strict diets. All right, but what happens when this playbook gets applied to one of the most divisive parts of modern life? I'm talking about political tribes. Our source gives us a really fascinating case study here, looking at two powerful opposing online political groups in mainland China. It calls them the pro-government pinkies and the anti-government rebels. And what's so wild is that even though their beliefs are total opposites, you can see how perfectly both groups fit the 5-step formula. Each one has its own specific pain point that drives them. They each have their own symbolic leaders, a core set of ideas, and even their own unique rituals, whether it's fighting holy wars on social media or trying to spread banned news. But here is the most critical insight from the source material. Even though they're on opposite sides of the fence, the central authorities are deeply suspicious of both of them. Now, why would that be? Because the core fear isn't really about their ideology. It's about the fact that they are self-organizing from the bottom up. They're driven by intense emotion, not by top-down directives, and that makes them unpredictable. The pinkies could hijack state policy with extreme nationalism, and the rebels are obviously challenging the system directly. For any central authority, both of these represent a loss of absolute control. So, all of this brings us to a really important final point, the danger of blind faith. What's the real cost of this new age where we have all these secular, religious-style belief systems popping up everywhere? Well, the source makes a powerful argument here. It says that whenever any group, doesn't matter if they're left, right, pro-this, or anti-that, adopts the structure of a religion, reason becomes the first casualty. Dogma completely takes over dialogue. And there's a real social cost to that. All of a sudden, complex issues get flattened into simple battles of good versus evil. If you disagree with the group, you're not just wrong, you're a heretic. And individual critical thinking, that gets suppressed in favor of towing the party line, of sticking with the group. So that leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. In a world that's just full of these new tribes, all using this ancient playbook to compete for our loyalty and our belief, how do we protect the space for reason? How do we make sure there's still room for genuine, open conversation?